Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through the industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Toom Willems. He is an internship expert, and we'll be talking to him about how one can use internships to explore their dream career. Welcome to the show, Tom.
Thanks so much, AJ, and thanks for having me on and for the introduction.
You are welcome to the show, Tom, straightway directly from Netherlands here in India. You are welcome to the show. You are welcome to India in this online form, and I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people across the globe will benefit from what, as I said, we'll be discussing about using internships to explore their dream career. So, first, help us understand, Tom. It's been many years now. I've been to the college, so I want to understand from you what is the state of internships today in your part of the world, especially how are people looking at internships? A lot of companies they go for take interns, especially in management and all. But is it now applicable for many other courses, many other sectors as such? How would you like to explain it about the state of internship across the globe, if you understand it that way, and especially in your part of the world, so that people who are in this part of the world, they understand and gain much more insights into this whole world of internships.
Yeah, of course. First of all, here in the Netherlands, and I'm originally from Belgium, so there as well, most studies and colleges actually obligate internships. So you have to go out and do some internships before you can actually graduate. In other parts of the world, these are purely optional. I was in a place where I had to find some internships. So I ended up with, in my last 2 years of college, I ended up with 5 internships in total, which was a lot. And afterwards, I really tremendously benefited from those. And the state of internships, I think it's different in many kinds of industries. If you're in the healthcare industry, you go out and you really practice for what you're doing. If you're more of a practical person, you will go out and then see the things you learned for the first time, practice those things. And then if you're more in business or I was in sports science, so it was a bit broader as well. There are a lot of things. You can go a lot of directions, and internships are used, 1, to get some experience, of course, and 2, also to find out what you like and what you love. I think those 2 are today really, really valuable.
Absolutely. So if I understand, is it internship there compulsory for even, in arts subject? Or I thought that it was only for, management and all. But is it applicable now for even art subjects before one can graduate?
First of all, I hope it is. I'm not sure. I don't know anyone who did an art project internship or an art project major or master's. But I hope it is. Just because if you do an internship, you have so many doors that open for you. You actually experience what you want to go out and do in the work field. You can put a big ass cross over it, or you can say, oh yeah, this was really cool. I want to pursue this. And you know that you want to do this eventually. So I'm not sure if it's even obligated for those kinds of studies. I just hope it is, because it's tremendously beneficial.
Absolutely. And that is where I want to understand for the audience is that, people who get internship either through the help of their institutes or, placement cells or whatever it is, they get that advantage to at least get some opening into the industry, into their area where you come to know about few people. You can also find mentors. And those people who do not do that, they have to do things on their own, maybe start looking for a job by themselves. So how would you advise people, as an internship expert, as an internship coach for grads and undergraduates, how would you advise that students take this internship thing as in today's time, both from first people where it is internship is mandatory, and also where it
Mhm.
is not mandatory and they have to just go on looking at on their own.
Okay, so how you find internships or how you build them into your time in
Yeah,
college?
how should you look at
Okay.
this whole internship itself? And then obviously everyone looks at needs a career or maybe entrepreneurship also if they want to get into. How do they go and about finding it,
Yeah.
looking at it, understanding it, and then start
Okay.
looking at exactly what they want to achieve in life.
Yeah. So first of all, internships, what you get out of them is you become more valuable to people who actually want to hire you. So if that's something that you want to do after college, you can become more valuable than the person sitting next to you in class if you have done more internships, better internships, or have done broader scope of projects within your internship. Second of all, is you've put it absolutely right there, AJ. To get a mentor, to get hired, to get some connections is really helpful as well. And as a student, you're perfectly placed to go out and expand your network and get a lot of people to put into your network. You just have to know how. And internships are a big part of that. If you just imagine, if you are doing an internship somewhere, your mentor really likes you. So you've done well. You've proven reliable. You've proven you can add value. You've created opportunities for yourself. You now have a person who is really connected in the field you want to work in your corner. So instead of you going out on a job hunt just for yourself, posting your resume up on a job website and hoping for the best, you now have a guy or a girl who is well connected, who wants you to succeed, and who will actually go on the job hunt for you. Now, imagine if you can do that 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. You might actually end up after college with 5 to 10, 20 people, depending on how social you are within your internships and how many internships you do, who are really well connected, who want the best for you, and who just get job opportunities pop up left and right. And for them, it's not a thing because they're well connected on LinkedIn, they're well connected on other socials, they know people in the industry. And if they can then siphon that through to you, you're set. And you can end college with more opportunities just flowing your way instead of you going on the lookout for them. Now, how would you go about like finding these kinds of placements? I think first of all, take a look at the time you have. So doing a summer internship, you can do it full time. If you're still in college, if you have classes, check out the time you have available and try to work within those time frames work within the time that fits for you. So if you have 1 day a week and you're super busy, try and find a project or a little mini internship that you can do for 1 day a week. That would be really cool. If you go out and look for it in that way, you can definitely find some.
Right, right. Help us understand one thing. Is internship for everyone? Or is it good for some people not to do internship and straightway get into the job? And if it is mandatory, you have to do it. But if it's not,
Mhm.
what would you advise there? Should you mandatorily go and do it, even if it's not mandatory that way?
Mhm.
What is your take on this?
If you can graduate and you know that you have a job afterwards, or you're in some kind of study. I know a friend of mine was in a research study, and she did not really have to do an internship because the work experience or the internship that she did was in the research she did while she was in college. And that way she flowed into her PhD. And that was, the natural cause or the natural stream. For most people, I would definitely advise internships because of the fact that you're so much more connected. You know what you want to do. You develop yourself as a professional before you go out and get paid for something. So if it's not mandatory, of course you can choose not to do it. You can choose to do it. I would always recommend please do at least one full time, or do smaller ones like throughout your years. you will end up just more valuable, more hireable, and with better opportunities than your peers. So if those are the things that you would love to do or would love to have, yeah, internships are a big way to go, and they're really fun as well.
Right, Tom. Right. In terms of the number of internships, I see several profiles on LinkedIn I've seen, out of curiosity, if I see it, that
Mhm.
people do several internships, two, three, even four, and continue to work in different organizations. Is it the right thing to do? Is it because you are not getting a job, so you are trying at different places? How should one, what is the best way at looking at this? Sometimes it may give an impression that you are not getting a job and you are trying
Mhm.
to do internship 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and then you are not too
Mhm.
focused on doing something. How do you look at it? Because I don't understand this. I just want to understand it for the people who would like, who are starting their
Yeah.
careers.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so first of all, if you do those things while you're still in college, that's beneficial because you're kind of set. You have your dorm, you have your finances in order, and if you, that's the big time to do internships, so that you don't have to do like the poorly paid or the unpaid internships afterwards. That's yeah, you can do that. Of course, you can do that, and that's a nice step. But if you can do that while you're still in college, that's a big bonus. Um, like the multiple smaller ones, I would say go for it, do it. Just because you can. Um, well, I'm gonna say it with a story. So one of my friends did uh, bigger internships at the same company. So while he was in his masters, he did 2 years of internships worth with the same company. I did like the other way around. So I did 5 internships with different companies, and I was a football coach at that part. So I did in multiple football clubs. I gave training. Now the advantages of one side of my friend was he was extremely hireable for that company because that company knew him very well, and they hired him straight out of college. Like he worked there afterwards, so he succeeded. Um, Me, I was hireable for all of those little ones, not extremely hireable, not as he was, but I had to adapt myself to a new environment every time. And that in itself is super helpful. Like being able to come into a new environment and make yourself feel at home in like a week or two, because that's something that you do yourself. Seeing what people are doing differently in that situation, in that particular environment, in that particular football club, and seeing all those different things, I was actually able to form my own vision of training way more than any single club would have given me. So there are advantages of the two. But my friend, after that 1 year, he quit his job there because he no longer liked to work there and had to adapt to a new environment for the very first time. And now, as an employee, where the stakes were higher, and I am super adaptable because I did 5 internships at 5 different clubs. So I can come into a new environment right now, make myself feel comfortable, check out the processes that are there, and just flourish. So that's the difference between the two. And I would recommend the more diverse one, the route that I did, because it's more fun. I think it's more stressful as well, but I think you get a lot out of it just from looking at different kinds of perspectives on the matter. You see a lot more, and that's what being an intern is all about: experiencing as much as possible and evolving constantly.
Right. What about after graduation when you have say, done a job for 6 months or even a year, and then you go
Mhm.
for three internships, say 3 months? So how do you look that part of it? Is it going to help? And also, what is the duration of internship one should look at during, before graduation and also after graduation? Also during these times, many people may have the dilemma that, I should go for paid
Mhm.
internships. So should they look for paid ones or even unpaid ones? How do they evaluate these things? Many a times you see some employers can want to continue to have interns a lot of time to save
Mhm.
their costs and get a lot of all these small jobs done through interns, and it's not so they
Mhm.
may not, you may not be wanting to go for such a place like that. How do you then, find out for yourself what is the best way to go about in these situations? Internship itself
Yeah.
is seems to be a big industry now.
Yeah, absolutely. And first of all, I love that. That's a big industry right now. I have actually a kind of different perspective on the matter. I don't believe that internships should be paid,
Okay.
depending on where you are and what you do. Um, if you're after college and you are struggling to get a high paying position, and you can do free internships, you live at home or you have no really low expenses, you can definitely do them. If you do have expenses, that's a different story. But there's a lot of value in doing internships for free. If you look at it this way, both employees and interns are investing something in a company to get something back. Like employees, they're investing their time, their energy, their resources, their capabilities, and they get their wage back. So they get money in return, and that's kind of that. Interns also invest the same things as employees are investing, and they also need to get something back out of it. If you have a position that pays you, the company can easily say, that's that. And you actually just become a poorly paid employee. If you have no wage, you have your own wiggle room. So you can start to negotiate a bit more about the activities that you would like to pursue. You could steer your own ship within the internship more. So if you're curious about one thing, you can try and steer your ship there, and you can always say, yeah, dudes, I work here for free. So you invest the little tasks that they give you, the easy monkey work, you do it. But as a return, you should always get something back. And as an intern, you're in a really cool position because you're only there for like a few weeks, a few months, and you can steer the ship towards your return on investment being that you meet as many different people as you can, you do a lot of cool projects, you try and do a lot of tasks that are new to you. Your development should be your return on investment. And as an unpaid employee, you have a lot more freedom to steer your own ship in that regard. But it only depends on if you can manage it expenses wise.
Right, Tom. From a student's perspective, especially
Mm-hmm.
when you are undergraduate, you have got twin objectives. One is to learn, and then to earn after that. If you find the right sort of a company, then also to get placed there, get the offer there within the same company, or get prepared for a good company, or your dream company in that whole
Mm-hmm.
in that same sector. When one knows this, how do you know what is the company looking for in you when they are taking you as an intern? How should you calibrate your interests as well as from the company side? Is company doing a favor by getting more interns because the institute told them to, so they want to have good rapport with the institutes and all, and the placement heads and all? Or is
Mm-hmm.
it because the company also is trying to get that value? How do I understand that value, and how do I then also build a rapport within the company? Because as an intern, I might suddenly get so busy that I'll not be able to meet the right people. So how do I know who is the right people? Is it by designation? Is it by the value I can create for myself, finding out the right people?
Mm-hmm. So, first part of your question, it's really difficult to actually know which intern placement is good on the inside. That's always a big guess. If you can find that out by speaking to ex-employees, by speaking to other students who have interned there. If you know anyone who is like 1 or 2, 3 years ahead and has done internships, ask them about it, because they're also a good way in to those placements. So talk to a lot of people, investigate a little bit. That's one thing. Second thing is, if you think that that placement would look good on your resume, then it's also just a good way to go. if you work at Google, you did an internship at Google, the internship was shit, you will still get hired because you
Right.
interned at Google. So a lot of people will see that, and it will be a really big flag on your resume, and you can say, yay, and you're much more hireable. And third thing is, if you have like a really good gut feeling, and trust your gut feeling with that, talk to the people within there. If you have a good rapport with the people you talk to while you're investigating your internship options, that's also a big yes. So talking to people, having a really good thing on your resume, and then your own gut feeling. If something gets you excited, please go there. That's the whole thing. If you're excited to work there, I will promise you your internship will be so much better. The quality you put out will be so much better, and you will end up with a tremendously beneficial experience. Then once you get there, it's about becoming such a good intern for the people there that they actually want to go on the job lookout for you. And it's not by being, no one expects you to be a top-notch employee. Everyone expects you to be an intern, and being a good intern is something else than being a good employee, which is really being impactful. So first of all, when you get to that placement, try and lay your roots first. Create the house for yourself. And you can do that yourself by getting to know as many people as you can within your environment that you have there, and also just learning them by name. If you learn everyone by name, and imagine I meet you in the hallway and I say with a big smile, "Hey AJ, good morning," you will greet me back, and you will know my name. And I will not be just that one intern that came and went, but I will be the one that has a good rapport with everyone, and everyone likes to see in the morning. And that's step number one. And it will suddenly feel like a house, your home, instead of just a scary work placement you are for the first time. As
Right.
you get there, say yes to as many different things as you can for the first few days, first few weeks. And that's how you create opportunities for yourself. Ask to sit in with meetings, ask to see how processes are done, asked to try and rebuild something in Excel, maybe, I don't know, and ask for feedback on that. Ask for as many different things as you can to sit in and try and see everything around you and try to understand the organization. And then as you continue that, you will see some places where you might be needed, where you might can take over something, like some easy work. No one has to explain this to you, even if it's just getting coffee for everyone in the morning. If there are some easy tasks you can do and pick up with humility, go and pick those up, because you will free up other people's time and people will start to value you. And then you have created a house for yourself where you know everyone knows you know all the systems, and you can start to carefully wiggle your way into the processes that are there without stepping on too many toes. Afterwards, you can, if you have built some trust and you've proven yourself reliable within those small tasks, and you've proven that you want to improve on those tasks, more difficult tasks will start to automatically flow your way. And then you are in a house where everyone knows you. You have an understanding of all the systems. People trust you within that environment and will start to push new tasks, more challenging tasks towards you. And that's, I think, when you created a really good placement for yourself.
Wonderful. Now, one last question I want to understand is that you always have a couple of dream companies. This is one, and somehow you landed an internship into one of those places, and you learn things. Maybe a couple of months you are there, you are learning things. You have left a good impression and all. But then afterwards, when you come out of that place, you are just like anyone else. How do you build that thing so that, obviously you keep on working hard and all? How do you then make sure that at least you stand a good chance to get hired in a place once your internship is over and you are out of that system? How do you get back into that system, from the outside?
Yeah.
So you have to work within the system when you are inside. so that you are
Mhm.
considered an insider, but who is outside, and that will
Yeah, yeah,
improve
yeah.
your chances to get. How do you work that out? Because you lose that
Well,
opportunity, it's gone. You are an outsider then.
no, you've not lost that opportunity. You have gained that opportunity. And that's what a lot of companies, if you do a great job, they might want to hire you. But a lot of companies don't have the opening for that time. So you won't get hired. But that's not a complete fail. That's actually people, like I said earlier, who are in your corner, who want to help you, who are wanting to go on the job lookout for you. So ask them. Like say, I've just graduated. I know I can't work here. Do you know of any other people that you might want to connect me? And ask that to maybe a few people in there that you trust or people that are really high up the ladder that you had a okay rapport with. Ask him, actively asking those people to do that for you will maybe even yield you some direct results. And those results are really good because you're not just anyone who puts their resume up on there. You are someone who came from someone else who has some social proof for you. So anyone who wants to hire you instantly knows, okay, he's proven he can do this because I know this person, he's worked with them. This person likes him enough to send him my way. So that means that he actually wanted to hire him himself, him or her. And so that's a big plus you have going forward. To go out into the wider world, imagine they don't have any opportunities for you at the moment, which is very much possible. You still have the social proof you can build into your resume. So ask one of two highly up the ladder individuals at that place if they want to be a reference for you on your resume, and then put their contact details on your resume. So people from other organizations can always call them and ask how you were as an intern. That's one thing. They can also write you a really great letter of recommendation that you can send with your resume as well. And you can get bonus points if it's tailored to the placement that or the job offer that you actually want to go for. But that also depends if the people in the company you have really good trust with and are becoming friends for you, then they will write multiple letters of recommendation for multiple companies. If you can only ask for one general one. But the benefit is you have social proof, even directly or indirectly.
Right, right. There is much to learn about these things for anyone, and the more important thing is to gain that practical understanding of how things work on the ground. So, for that, a lot of people would want to learn more about you, learn more from you. So, what is the best way for them to connect with you?
A few ways. You can go to my website. I have a website. It's called kickassintern.com. There you can also find a cheap online video course that will teach you all the tips and tricks about interning and about landing jobs afterwards. If you want to connect with me directly, you can go to LinkedIn, searching my name, you see here, and connect with me. My daytime job is as a sports scientist, so you will see sports scientist and intern coach. That's me. If you're curious and want to know more, you can also just shoot me an email. It's tom@kickassintern.com. If you want to, we can do also a quick call where we evaluate your situation. I can give you some tips and pointers. I will do it completely free. I'm just really curious about where people are at in their internships and what are the struggling blocks that they have right now. What are the things that are keeping them from succeeding? So yeah, if that sounds nice, we can do a quick 20-minute discovery call together, completely free of charge. I give you some advice and you can be on your way.
Wonderful. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live. Thank you so much indeed for joining us.
Thank you, AJ.